The South Platte River Water Wars and their effects on multi-generational farmers. Mile upon mile of farmland in eastern Colorado is now dry and worthless due to the damage of the South Platte River Water Wars. This is Tim Buchanan, the main lawyer that shut these family farms down.
Well, I would say that it's fundamentally unjust for people to steal water from other people. And that is what has happened for a long time.
This is Sharon Bruntz. Her farm has been in her family since 1965, and if it isn't irrigated soon, their farm will have to shut down.
Just turned our worlds upside down. Trying to keep everybody's spirits up has been very difficult.
This is Dwayne and Susan Pope. Their farm has been in their family since 1938. And Dwayne's father would not believe that their farm could be shut down.
He just kept saying, there's no way they'll shut your wells off. We went through this in '69. They settled all of this dead. They can't shut your wells off. They never will do this. And he would be rolling over in his grave.
As you can see, the South Platte River Water Wars has created a huge conflict between the surface water users such as Boulder, who take water directly from the river, and the groundwater users, who are mostly farmers and draw water through wells from the aquifer. Cities like Boulder believe many of the farmers' wells should be shut down, even if it means the farmers would go bankrupt. Farmers think that they should be able to use their wells like they always have, because this system has always worked well in the past. This battle has no compromise in sight. As of today, the farmers are losing the battle, with many of the farmers losing their farms. This is Boulder City Council member Ken Wilson, who is supposed to represent the citizens of Boulder. When asked, he believed that the citizens of Boulder, the people he represents, would support Boulder's actions in the courts against the farmers.
I think they should.
Here's the citizens of Boulder's reaction to Boulder's court actions.
No.
No. No.
No, I probably wouldn't support that, no.
No.
Doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No.
I oppose the shutting down of family farms.
A brief history of the South Platte Water Wars. In 1886, E.F. Hurdle drilled the first steam-powered well. In 1893, the first water right court case took place between a surface water user, McClellan, and a groundwater user, Hurdle. In 1957, the Colorado groundwater law was passed, which stated you needed a permit from the state engineer to drill a well. In 1960, the senior surface water right owners started complaining about the well pumping affecting their amount of water. In 1969, the Water Rights Determination and Administration Act was passed. This act required well pumpers to augment 5% of the water used back into the river. Augmentation is how the farmers put water back into the river. In 1972, the Groundwater Appropriators of the South Platte, otherwise known as GASP, was created to figure out an annual augmentation plan. In 2001, the Supreme Court ruled that the power to approve augmentation plans should be given to the state water courts instead of the state engineer. In 2002, the worst drought ever for Colorado occurred, so the senior water rights started to call for their water.
You know, I mean, I think we all feel that the farmers have gotten the short end of this whole long issue with their wells.
What has been the low point for your family?
I don't know, the lowest point was when I think they told me that our wells would never run again, and it just like hit you in the face with a 2x4.
Last year, 2006, we were told that we could pump a little bit of water because of our well augmentation group, which is the Central Colorado Water, Ian Greeley, said we could pump a little bit. So we had our crop planted, and in June, we got a letter from the state telling us to stop pumping. So we had the expense in the crop, and we had to stop pumping.
I think the hardest part is the stress on us. It's been very difficult for just our family, just between us, because this is what we do together. We don't have another source of income. We raise produce, we do the farmers market. So the stress, just and the depression, just to know that we're just totally out of our control. The state has not left us. We've done everything they've asked us to try to do through water court. It's totally out of our control. You feel so helpless and depressed.
Could you help us to understand what's happened in the courts to lead us to this current situation?
Well, what's happened here is in 2002 we had a severe drought in Colorado. It had been ongoing, and it really got caught up, and some of the surface water owners from the Front Range felt like the wells were damaging their water right, and so they took it to court, and a judge agreed with them, and now we're off.
So it's those two things: out of court decisions or stipulations, and taking the authority from the state engineer and putting it in the hands of attorneys.
I don't like how this was handled, that the state granted us this opportunity to pump this wells. They even encouraged it in the 50s, and now they take them away from us.
Many farmers believe one reason why their wells were turned off is that they simply couldn't compete with the opposing side's amount of resources.
One water attorney representing a farmers group versus 30 attorneys representing one municipality. 30-to-1 ratio. Politicians don't want to touch this because they know the major vote lies within the municipalities. There are very, very few farmers. A lot of people living in town.
It has drained me financially and my neighbors. It's been tough. We've given lawyers a lot of money, and a lot of us, they just wear us down, and we just can't afford to go on anymore.
Yeah, there's no way we can compete.
I have a lot of sympathy with those farmers.
Here are some possible compromises.
If we could come together, maybe outside the courtroom, for some of these solutions, that we would be a lot better off.
Personally, I think that when there are drought years, that everybody should share the water that there is. Everybody should cut back 50%. Everybody should cut back. The cities, everyone. We shouldn't be watering the greenways. We shouldn't be watering the medians. We shouldn't be, having extra water for the roughs at golf courses. Everybody should share what we have.
I would like to see the administration of the river return to the state engineer's office, where it would be run by scientists who were working on hard factual data. They demonstrated before that everybody in the entire river system was being able to produce. The cities had water, agriculture had water. There's enough water to go around. What the problem is now is not a lack of water, it's a lack of management.
There was an engineer, Robert Longenbaugh, that I thought had a very good solution. He thinks we need to harvest 10% of our aquifer every year, or it's lost, that no one gets to use.
We have an excellent procedure for allocating the water supplies and allowing people who want to use water to replace the depletions that they're causing to the stream system. As far as any sort of compromise, I don't know that we really need any sort of compromise. Follow the procedures and the law that has worked. It's worked for a lot of people.
But if the current system is a good one, then why has it destroyed so many people's lives? And why was the old system a bad one if it did not visibly damage anybody's life? I think that both sides should compromise. The farmers should be able to use water, but would have to augment 25% of the water back into the river, and the cities should continue using their water.